With the Batman Arkham universe probably being the most superhero games of all time, I wanted to go over why is it that the Batman Arkham games did so well? What is it that made them stand out? Because I think that when you look at games like the Spider-Man games, those games are very well written, the gameplay is very good, but I would say that the Arkham game has a more solid fan base, right? The Arkham franchise has a more solid fan base than those Spider-Man fans. Or if you were to look at Batman the Telltale series or any other game that you've probably seen with different superheroes in it, you'll see that the Batman Arkham franchise just seems to have more fans and more overall support than other sort of superhero video games. So today, we're going to be posing the question of what makes the Batman Arkham franchise stand out. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe for more content, and let's get into the video. The first thing, and I think that this part's probably the most important thing, is the fact that there are 5 different games to play in the franchise. And yes, I am including Batman Arkham Shadow, and you can even include Suicide Squad, because I don't know if everybody disliked that game. It was technically considered canon, so 6 different games for people of which to play, but there's really the 4 main ones, right? Arkham Asylum, City, Origins, Night. I don't really think that's up for any sort of dispute or debate. However, what I will say is that each and every single one of those 4 games have something different that is really good about it that no other superhero games really mastered in any sort of capacity, right? If you want some good atmosphere, you play Arkham Asylum. You want a well-balanced experience, you play Batman Arkham City. You want the really, really good story with really good detail to the world, go Batman Arkham Origins. And if you want really good gameplay, combat, and stealth, then you play Batman Arkham Knight. And then if you want the first-person point of view, you play Batman Arkham Shadow. And if you want dull gameplay, you play Suicide Squad. But what I will say is the fact that there is something really special about each and every single game is going to make people more likely to want to draw to that specific game, right? There is critiques that go around with the Spider-Man games that the combat is too easy, or, there were complaints that Spider-Man Miles Morales was too short and it kind of felt like a glorified DLC. I never got a chance to play Spider-Man 2, but I've heard it was good. Hopefully one day I'll get to play it, but as of right now, I have not had a chance to play that game. But what I will say is that that's like the closest thing in comparison to the Batman Arkham franchise. There just isn't a massive market out right now for superhero games, and I'm not too sure why that is. I do think a new superhero game would absolutely do banging numbers in this day and age, but as of right now, it's just mostly the Batman Arkham franchise and Spider-Man as well, I guess you could say. But another thing I think that is very important to mention is the fact that people have nostalgia for these games, right? The Batman Arkham games are very old. Very old, as far back as 2009. Then you take a look at 2011 for Arkham City, 2013 for Arkham Origins, and 2015 for Batman Arkham Knight. So this game has a very, very much older fan base compared to other newer games like the Spider-Man games that are getting released today. And I think with the Arkham games being so much older, I think it kind of paved the way for a few different type of in-game mechanics and overall gameplay physics that go on throughout the course of the game, such as, the free-flow combat is literally invented by the Batman Arkham franchise, to my knowledge, or maybe it was Assassin's Creed, but the Batman Arkham franchise really popularized that within superhero games at the very least, if they did not invent it, right? And even the stealth is something that other games have not been able to replicate to this very day. I mean, name me another game where if you're not stealthy, the way that you have to be in the Arkham franchise, that you will just be immediately ended by, gunmen or whoever. It doesn't happen, especially not in other superhero games. You ever play Spider-Man? There's literally like 0 repercussions if you're not stealthy. They'll aim at you for about 15 seconds before they finally shoot off. Or Gotham Knights, a game that came out 7 years after the last Batman Arkham game and Batman Arkham Knight. There is 0 repercussions if you are not stealthy in that. In the Batman Arkham franchise, going back as far as 2009, where you had to be very careful about where you walked, otherwise a gunman would be able to basically have Autobot at you, shoot you, and end you. On top of that, the Arkham franchise also popularized side missions. And yes, again, maybe that's something that a game like Assassin's Creed, or maybe there were other games before that may have invented side missions. But at the very least, within the superhero genre, I would say that the Batman Arkham franchise definitely popularized having side missions. And again, I don't want to keep bringing up Spider-Man, but it's the only other open world superhero game that I could think of off the top of my head. I know that they have side missions, probably, I don't think there's anything in there that's as good as like the really good Batman Arkham ones. But even in Batman Arkham City, a game that came out in 2011, bringing in side missions, Riddler trophies, and all that stuff on top of the DLCs and the challenge maps that they brought. I don't know if there's any other games outside of the Batman games that have challenge maps the way that the Arkham games do. Like, there's just so many things that they kind of popularized or even invented that it kind of makes it very obvious as to why it has such a huge fan base, even to this very day. But also, when you play the Batman Arkham games, the good thing about these games is that it gives you such a wide variety of options as to how you attack certain thugs and enemy types. And I think that that's something that a lot of games kind of miss as well. It's kind of just a strike and another strike, and you might have like one specialty move. But you don't have an array full of gadgets at your arsenal to really use generally. There's not really an option of, do I want to take these guys out silently, or do I just want to use brute force and be really loud? Yeah, Spider-Man does have some of that, but the issue with the Spider-Man, games is the fact that they don't really have a very good stealth option in the game. There's not really an option for you to be stealthy. Yes, you can silent takedown people, but like I mentioned before, if thugs do see you, there's like zero threat, because they will all just aim at you for 15 seconds and you'll be able to get out of the way and have time to make a sandwich and go eat it and then come back. Like, there's no repercussions. In the Batman Arkham franchise, like I mentioned earlier, the thugs actually make a difference. They'll actually basically auto-aim at you like it's a game of GTA and shoot you down straight away. But at least you have the option to use gadgets in order to, use it to your advantage, or you can just silently take everyone down. Like I said, you have multiple options on how to take thugs out in these games, whereas other games, like I said, kind of lack that sort of variety, and it's something that keeps me coming back to wanting to play more of these Batman Arkham games, even today. But something I do want to note is I don't want to take too much away from the Spider-Man games, or Batman Telltale I mentioned earlier, Gotham Knights, whatever. These games do have their good qualities, and I don't want to just completely crap on them and take away from the good things that those games did as well. However, I am also someone who plays the Batman Arkham games on a somewhat regular basis, and I do enjoy playing these games even to this day. And it's kind of funny because even after I did my 4 Batman Arkham games in one day live stream, I didn't think I was going to want to play them ever again, really. I didn't think I was going to want to play those games again for, like, another year or something. But even sometimes I still kind of go, I kind of want to play this one. I kind of want to play that one. These games are just so good. I don't know what it is that makes me want to keep coming back to them as opposed to playing other games instead. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my own personal nostalgia. Maybe, I don't know what it is, but I just really, really enjoy it. And yes, I do understand that there are other Batman games out there, plenty of them, but none of them come even close to the Batman Arkham games. Not any one of them. And I know that there are other Spider-Man games, but none of them compared to the Marvel Spider-Man series, right? And I'm sure that there are other superhero games out there, but none of them compare to these modern-day open world with, free-flow combat, good storytelling, side missions, really good traversal, everything packed into one game, or one game franchise, I should say, and nothing else, like I said, nothing else just even comes close to it. So if you were to ask me, what makes the Batman Arkham games stand out in comparison to either other superhero games, other open world games, other story mode based games, I would tell you it's most likely due to the lack of overall competition. It's due to the lack of really good superhero games that we see in today's world, and not even just superhero games, but what was the last really good open world game that you played? Was it an Assassin's Creed game? Because those games nowadays seem to get a really, really bad rep for some reason. I don't really play too much Assassin's Creed. I'm not really too sure. Spider-Man games do have a generally good reputation, and outside of that, there just isn't really much in terms of open world games. I mean, unless you're going to go play like GTA 5 or something, I think that that's a niche that actually should get tapped into even a bit more. And there's other games coming out, but most games that come out nowadays are online and multiplayer based, and that's fine. There's nothing really wrong with that. But if you ask me, I think we need to have more open world based storytelling again, right? Like, Gotham Knights, Suicide Squad, these games were just complete and utter letdowns. They're games that I just don't personally really care to play again or really want to go through that much, to be honest. Not that Gotham Knights is necessarily bad, but Suicide Squad, I just have zero interest in even thinking about going back and playing it. So yeah, if you were to ask me, I just think it's due to lack of competition, and that's why I think a new Batman Arkham game taking place after the events of Batman Arkham Shadow would do such a good job at bringing in the younger fan base, the people who didn't grow up with these games. And the fact that there's so many Batman fans out there, I mean, Batman's probably one of the most popular superheroes, at least the individual superheroes. And I'm not talking about something like Marvel as a collective with the Marvel movies and that kind of stuff. I'm talking more just individual superheroes. I would say like Batman, Superman, and like Spider-Man are like probably the top 3 most popular ones. And there's a reason why 2 of those 3 superheroes have really, really popular games. So I think that if you were to make a new Arkham game, or even just a new Batman game in general, I think it would make younger fans really tap into how amazing this open world storytelling, really, really good gameplay based genre actually is. And with a new 2025 editions, I can only imagine how good a company could do developing such a new game. So yeah, I kind of want to make a little video on what makes the Batman Arkham franchise so special, or what makes it stand out so much. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What makes the Batman Arkham franchise stand out to you? What makes it the most noticeable? What's the best thing about this franchise that makes you keep wanting to come back for more? Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys have any more ideas, leave them down in the comments below. The next gaming-related video I'm going to make is possibly going to be on Firewatch, because I actually recently went through and played that, and I thought it was a bit of fun. You know, I had a little bit of extra time on a Sunday night and thought, why not? And finally played through it. Relatively short game, about the length of Batman Arkham City. So, I mean, I'll make a video on that coming up here soon. It's a very, very interesting story. But, yeah, and you know what? I'm just going to leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys later. Peace!